Naomi. Nan Naomi often reminded her family she was born 1 year before the Titanic's maiden journey. Born to parents Eva and Harold, Naomi grew up on the family farm, Livenhays, with siblings Pamela, Stephen, Grace, Morris and Dulcie. Surrounded by golden fields of wheat, Naomi lived the rural idyll on a mixed farm of arable and livestock. Naomi shared much in common with Ma Larkin from the Darling Buds of May. Always dressed in her signature housecoat, complete with duster, Naomi could turn her hand to anything. This was always a close-knit family. Grandad Kay vividly recalls being chased by the geese on the approach, who were employed as guard geese. The farm was a hub within the rural community. Husband Harold and his brother Frederick had a traditional gypsy caravan from which hung hundreds of rabbits. These were taken to market to sell. Naomi herself could skin a rabbit in under 30 seconds. There were no mod cons here, and everything that took place was done by hand. Her education was rudimentary, and after leaving school at 12, Naomi went into service. Travelling some distance to North Hill in Minehead, Naomi sent her earnings back home. Returning to Southchard during her late teens, she chanced upon a young man, Harold, who she then married. The occasion was a visiting fair in Taunton. Naomi was determined to make her own way to her wedding, but this was not without incident. Hitching up her wedding dress, Naomi walked barefoot, carrying her shoes, all the way from Livenhays farm to the chapel at Yarkham. Her determination and resourcefulness was clear for all to see. A wife and mother to her children, Naomi's farming skills became in high demand in 1939. Leaving Harold, Naomi took her 3 children to work Brother Morris's farm. Naomi knew her wartime duty, even though her children's education was disrupted. Returning to Taunton in 1945, the unexpected arrival of Susan and twins Rosemary and Roger completed her family. Even with 6 children, Naomi found ample opportunity to pursue her many homely pursuits. All clothes were either knitted or sewn by hand. With the gift of making a wonderful meal out of scraps, Kay remembers her roast dinners. Ever resourceful Naomi made caraway seed cakes, which lasted, and apple dumplings wrapped in Airtex vest, to tie together with string, and placed in boiling water. Bath nights had their own special routines. The children were all bathed in the same water, followed by the sheets, which were washed using a blue bag laundry preparation. Naomi was invaluable in a crisis. This was put to the test when she had to deal with 2 serious incidents. The first involved herself and a double-decker bus. As she was leaving the bus, the doors closed on her. The driver was not alerted, but drove off, dragging her along the street. This resulted in her being taken to hospital with 2 broken arms. The bus corporation did not inquire how she was, and Naomi didn't make a claim against them. Being out of action, daughter Pamela helped with the 2 young twins, Rosemary and Roger. The second incident occurred in the late 1950s and proved fatal. Morris's wife, Gwendoline, was just 33. When she was collecting wood from the store shed, it collapsed on her, killing her outright. Typically, Naomi put others first. She left her home and went back to support Morris with Rosemary and Roger in tow. Kay knew Naomi as someone who was there to pick up the pieces and care for others. Rosemary and Roger were still young when her husband Harold was diagnosed with cancer. With its early associations with the workhouse, Harold feared going into Taunton Hospital. Naomi nursed Harold at home until secondary cancers led to his death. Naomi never cared about her own convenience. When duty called, she stayed with her sister Pam in Nottingham for 5 to 6 weeks. She entrusted the care of Roger and Rosemary to daughter Susan, who was given the family purse. During the 1960s, Naomi gave herself to the next generation, to Paul, Kay and Simon. Passing on her considerable skills and wisdom, Kay recalls her treating her asthma with honey and lemon mixed in a teacup. The grandkids were referred to as young imps. Naomi was kind but firm. Yanking Simon in from the outdoors for scrub, she would exclaim, "You could grow potatoes behind those ears." A jolly character she remained, caring and gave comfort throughout her later life. Naomi's hobbies were her domestic pleasures and passions. She kept chickens and continued to enjoy her country pursuits and traditional skills. An upright Methodist with morals, she disapproved of vulgar TV programs and brazen hussies. Her final wish was for her ashes to be scattered in Yarkham, just across the fields from where she was married. Farewell. You are remembering with love and gratitude Naomi, who touched many lives. She left an afterglow of personal preoccupation, country pursuits, and smiles. Her life and example you celebrate today. You are committing to heart your special memories of Naomi as you say your fond and final farewells. As Naomi knew so well, spring always follows on the winter. Remember Naomi's generosity and kindness with love and respect as you say your farewell, leaving Naomi to rest in peace, close by her fields and touched by the sun. You wave her on, as was often at the farm gate, and bid her farewell. We commit the body of Naomi Eva Hartland to its natural end. Be thankful for her life, in which she gave you so much of herself. So much of Naomi will remain within you. Carry her deep in your own special memories. In the warmth of the summer sun and at the rustling of leaves in autumn, you will be remembered. In the opening of the buds and in the rebirth of spring, you will always be remembered. Within the fullness of time and in living memory, the influence of Naomi, who you loved so much, remains and her influences continue. Today is not an end to love. You will laugh and feel joy again because you'd want it for you. This is your firm assurance.